Most people live like reactive machines. Something happens, they react. Someone disrespects them, they explode, they fail, they spiral. But what if this wasn't the only way? What if the brain could be reprogrammed, rewired for resilience, for discipline, for power? Modern neuroscience confirms what the ancient Stoics knew intuitively. Your mind is not fixed. Your reactions are not destiny. You are the architect of your own mental operating system. We begin by recognizing the default scripts we've inherited. These scripts often sound like this: I can't handle this, people should treat me better, if things go wrong, I fall apart. These are not truths. They are mental habits, fired and wired through repetition. The Stoic mindset begins with awareness. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." To rewire your brain, you must first see what colors you've been bathing your mind in. Start each day by observing your automatic thoughts. Don't judge, just watch. You'll be shocked by how often your mind complains, panics, or assumes the worst. Then, begin to challenge those thoughts with Stoic reasoning. Is this within my control? If not, why waste energy? If yes, what can I do calmly and deliberately? Every time you respond differently than your programming, you create a new neural pathway. That's how change begins, not with epiphanies, but with quiet, repeated rewiring. The brain adapts to what you feed it. Feed it stillness, structure, and strength, and soon chaos becomes noise you no longer hear. Emotions are data, not dictators. The Stoics didn't suppress feelings, they simply refused to be ruled by them. Emotional stability is built when you learn to sit with feelings without obeying them. Let's be clear, anger, fear, envy, sadness, they're all natural, but acting on impulse is what weakens the mind. The Stoic mindset is forged through self-discipline, the deliberate choice to pause before reacting. Imagine your mind as a fortress. Emotions are like messengers knocking at the gate. Most people open the gates wide and let chaos in. The Stoic listens from the tower, assesses, and responds only when it serves the greater purpose. To train this discipline, create space between stimulus and response. Count to 5 before replying to criticism. Write a daily emotional journal. Ask, what did I feel today? Why? Was my response worthy of me? Practice voluntary discomfort, cold showers, fasting, intense exercise. When you face controlled stress, real-life problems no longer own you. Self-control is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. And over time, you stop being someone who tries to control themselves. You become someone who is in control. Discipline isn't about restriction. It's about liberation, freedom from being a slave to emotion, to ego, to impulse. The disciplined mind is the free mind. To the untrained mind, problems are punishments. To the Stoic, they are practice. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This isn't poetic optimism. It's psychological jujitsu. It's the art of turning pain into power. When hardship strikes, the average person asks, "Why me?" The Stoic asks, "How can I use this?" The first response creates a victim. The second creates a warrior. Rewiring your brain means transforming your relationship with adversity. The next time you're rejected, humiliated, or defeated, write this down. This is the moment I train, because it is. Real strength is not developed in comfort. It is built in crisis. Challenge yourself to look for the gift in every difficulty. A breakup? Training in self-worth. A failure? Training in resilience. A betrayal? training in detachment. And here's the paradox. The more you lean into discomfort with courage, the more peace you create inside. You realize nothing can truly hurt you if you use everything. The obstacle is not in the way, it is the way. And when your mind adopts this as its framework, you become mentally unstoppable. Stillness is not weakness, it is precision. A still mind is not passive, it's intentional. In the Stoic worldview, emotional outbursts are a form of losing. The strong speak little, act deliberately, and radiate control. Rewiring your brain for stillness begins with mastering the moment between trigger and action. This micro moment determines whether you react like an animal or respond like a philosopher. To train stillness, practice meditation. Not to empty your mind, but to sharpen your attention. Memorize power questions. What would Marcus Aurelius do in this moment? Will this matter in a week? Visualize your ideal self responding to conflict. Replay this mental image often. Reaction is reflex. Response is training. Most people carry emotional grenades, ready to explode at any trigger. The Stoic carries a sword, unsheathed only when necessary, always under control. Stillness is not inaction. It is strategic action. A mind that doesn't flinch in the face of adversity is a mind that bends the world to its will. Train it, embody it, become it. Like muscles, the mind needs repetition. One deep insight can inspire you, but only daily practice will transform you. The Stoic mindset is not something you stumble upon. It is something you build, one rep at a time. Here's your daily regimen for rewiring. 1. Morning clarity. Each morning, ask, what can I control today? What will I let go of? 2. Journaling. Reflect on your emotional responses. Where did I act below my potential? How can I choose better next time? 3. Negative visualization. Imagine the worst-case scenario, not to suffer, but to train detachment. When you've already faced loss in your mind, reality can't shake you. 4th evening review. End the day asking, did I live with virtue? Did I act with reason? Did I rule myself today? 5. Silence and solitude. Every day, spend at least 10 minutes in complete silence. No input, just observation. This cleans the mind like water over stone. These aren't rituals, they're rewiring exercises. Done daily, they shape your identity. They remind your nervous system, I am not reactive, I am unshakable. Consistency builds character, and character determines destiny. Most suffering comes not from what happens, but from clinging. Clinging to outcomes, opinions, validation, control. Detachment is not indifference. It's clarity. The Stoic lets go not because he doesn't care, but because he refuses to suffer unnecessarily. Seneca said, he is most powerful who has power over himself. And self-mastery begins with the willingness to release. Let go of needing to win every argument. Let go of needing to be understood. Let go of needing life to be fair. These expectations are chains. Detachment means this. You do your best, but don't cling to results. You love fully, but don't need possession. You engage in the world, but don't depend on its applause. This creates power because nothing owns you. And when nothing owns you, no one can control you. Meditate on impermanence daily. Imagine losing what you value most, not to frighten yourself, but to free yourself. Then, when life takes what it will, your heart will be ready. Letting go is the highest form of strength. It is how the Stoic becomes untouchable. You don't just act stoic, you become stoic. Rewiring your brain means changing your identity at the root. Start saying, I am disciplined, I am calm, I am unbothered, I am powerful. These aren't affirmations. They are instructions to your nervous system. Each day, embody the Stoic warrior. Stand tall, speak slowly, listen more, act with virtue, not because it's easy, but because it's who you are. Do hard things, not for reward, but for who you become. Identity shapes behavior. Behavior shapes results. Results reinforce identity. This is the feedback loop of transformation. Surround yourself with reminders of strength. Books, quotes, mentors, silence. Repetition rewires. Immersion rewires faster. One day you'll wake up, and what once triggered you no longer moves you. You won't need to stay calm. You will be calm, not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. This is the Stoic path. This is how you rewire your brain for unshakable power. Walk it daily.